Our story starts in Texas. Texas. What do you think of when you think of Texas? You think big. You think grand. You think football. Football is religion in Texas. People do anything, and I mean anything, for their team to win. Another thing when you think of Texas, you think of Dallas. What's at the center of Dallas? A small, private university built in the 1980s to dovetail off the Dallas Cowboys' success. That university is SMU, and this is the story of how their football program got canceled. SMU, or Southern Methodist University, was located in the Southwest Conference, a powerhouse with Baylor, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, SMU, Arkansas, Texas Christian, and Rice. People would do anything for their team to win. They would do backroom deals. They would pay players to play, which was not acceptable. Illegal recruiting action. Anything. All this illegal recruiting action started with the recruitment of one player, Eric Dickerson, from Sealy, Texas, held to be the best running back to ever come out of the state of Texas. Sealy, Texas, a highly devout Texas A&M town. Everyone thought that Eric Dickerson was going to Texas A&M. Then Eric Dickerson famously said, "Circumstances changed." The story goes that SMU paid him more than Texas A&M to go play college football. Texas Tech gave him a Ford A&M, but Coach Ron Meyer and the SMU boosters did everything else they could to get him. Only minutes after the signing of star running back Eric Dickerson, SMU got another star running back, Craig James. Craig James was also worried about the activities going on at SMU. He had Coach Ron Meyer come over to his house and assure him everything was all right with the university and the recruitment. Despite all these star recruits, SMU finished the season at 8-4. They did beat Texas. It was the win against Texas that sent SMU into NCAA investigations because they thought there's no way SMU could be a good football team. At the end of that season, the NCAA found over 29 different recruiting violations, ranging from a recruiter playing racquetball with one of the recruits and paying players to play. SMU was on NCAA sanctions for the next season. The sanctions were they could not play in a bowl game the following year. The last game of the season, when they played Arkansas, they played in something what they dubbed the Polyester Bowl against Arkansas. It was the biggest game of the year for both SMU and Arkansas. It was after this Arkansas game that Ron Meyer decided it best for him to leave SMU, the one who built up the program from almost nothing into a national powerhouse. He took the job with the New England Patriots, and the athletic director said that they would have a new head coach in a few days. They hired Bobby Collins from Southern Mississippi University to head coach the Mustangs. No idea what he was walking into. He was walking into something that was way over his head. Some reporters said that it was like him going on a train that he thought was going 50 miles an hour and getting him somewhere slow, but he was going on a train that was going 200 miles an hour. Had no idea what he was getting into at all. He didn't understand the players had a certain payroll they had to make, or else they wouldn't play. Bobby Collins' first season, SMU undefeated and unblemished, but there was one little blemish that they did have. They had a tie against Arkansas. So SMU dropped to 4th in the polls, even though there was no undefeated teams besides SMU. So they gave the national. Going back to Ron Meyer, everyone was wondering why he was leaving. He had a national championship caliber program. All of his players almost had the talent to go play professional football, and he was in a great city, Dallas. Everyone loved him, but he left. Ron Meyer was smart enough to leave before what was going to happen next. He knew it was just a ticking time bomb before SMU football was going to get slammed hard with sanctions. SMU in 1987 had to cancel their football season due to what they did in years prior. In 1988, they voluntarily canceled their season because they could only play 7 games, all of which were on the road, could not be seen on national live TV, or have any home games to where all their fans could go to. The NCAA thought this was fit for SMU, but they had no idea how long it would actually take to rebuild their program. They had
20 years where they only had 2 winning seasons. In 1989, the first season after the death penalty, SMU hired Forrest Gregg, former great player at SMU and former Green Bay Packer who won 2 Super Bowls, to coach. They won 1 game that season, and Forrest Gregg retired soon after. Let's fast forward to the year 2008. SMU has had 2 winning seasons, and the current athletic director then called all the former players for his suggestions. He called Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson said that, "You know what I'm going to say to you? I'm just going to fill your ear with stuff you don't want to hear." He said, the athletic director said, "I know that, but I need to try to get this program back to where it once was when you played." So Eric Dickerson said that you have to get the fans back involved because their attendance was down. Give former players tickets to the games, and also they have to get a top-notch coach. For this top-notch coaching position, they decided to hire June Jones, who was the head coach at Miami and a former NFL quarterback. It was June Jones that built the Hawaii program from nothing into a national powerhouse and recognized team. He said he wanted to do that at SMU also. To this day, June Jones has been coaching at SMU for 4 seasons and has gone to a bowl game 3 times. Nothing could ever compare to what happened during the death penalty. Not even what happened because of the death penalty. The 20 years of almost having not a football team or one to be respectful of. There's only been a few other instances where this has come, where the NCAA was this strict. In USC, they recruited Reggie Bush illegally, and Reggie Bush won the Heisman Trophy while he was there, so he had to give back his Heisman Trophy. Florida State also had something close like this. They were paying their players to play. Almost every major college football program has been under some sort of NCAA sanctions, but nothing ever, and probably never again, will be this strict as what happened at SMU with the cancellation of the football program. They had nothing. Homecoming weeks in the fall, they didn't have a homecoming football game. They had a homecoming soccer game. Students who were there during the death penalty said it was a completely different college experience without having a football team. Some of the alumni who played football during the death penalty went on to do amazing things in their professional football careers and in their normal lives. Eric Dickerson has the single season rushing record in the NFL with 2,105 yards. Craig James has ran for a seat in Congress many times, but has come close to winning a few times. Emmanuel Sanders, a star receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, said that the reason why he went to SMU to go play football is to resurrect the program.